how did you end up in Taiwan? How did you kind of decide to find yourself here in Taiwan now with all your travels throughout the world?
In short, and to be frank, it's because of the COVID situation, but that is not the main one, right? Because I started my sort of a serious game career in Taiwan in 2006 or 7. Yeah, I had lived in Taiwan for like around 2 to 3 years, and then I just keep coming back after that. Yeah, because I said some work here, and Taiwan is a very comfortable place to live in. That's why I'm here. Right? Yeah. And I hear one thing is that because working here, I find that it's a great talent pool here. There's just some gap that could be just filled, and they could actually upgrade and be with the international talent. So I think it would be a waste if I don't do anything about that. So that's one of the reasons why I'm here.
It's beautiful. It's such a mission statement now for kind of this next chapter of your life, I feel.
Hello everyone, welcome to our show today. My name is John Drummond or Yang Haoen.
Hello， 大家好，欢迎各位再度来到 NG 英文，我是 Angela。We
have a great episode for you today with my new friend Siwan, who's known around the professional community as Siwan Tong.
是的，今天我们的来宾呢是一位来自新加坡，目前在游戏开发公司 Red Door Digital 担任 CTO 首席技术长的 Siwan。那他待会除了一样会聊到区块链的话题外，也会谈到一些写程式的话题。
My guest today is from Singapore. However, he has been living and working all over the world. He is the CTO of Red Door Digital, a game developer, a brilliant mind, and so much more. So everyone, please welcome my new friend, Siwan.
Hey everyone, yeah.
Thank you so much, Siwan, for joining us today on NG Ingwen. Man, you are a pretty cool cat. You know, you are the CTO of Red Door Digital. You are originally from Singapore, but you've been doing stuff really all over the world. Yeah. So cool. So I was hoping, could you give a little self-introduction about yourself here on NG Ingwen?
My name is Siwan, so I'm from Singapore, but I've been my career span over a couple of countries, yeah. Well, both in tech and in finance, and then back in tech again, so yeah. So what I've been doing is that I've been in games for almost 20 years. I was here in Taiwan almost 15 years ago, doing MMO. And then after that, I left and joined a company like Electronic Arts and Ubisoft and many other games companies. But after that, I left the industry because 10 years of games. I was thinking that I could use the same technology to do something interesting, right? So I go into what you call the serious game, which is using games as a learning tool. Yeah, so I start building simulators for the governments, for firefighters and for the military, and for also other educational purposes training in schools. Yeah, but after that, yeah, I think I still want to rediscover my passion for games, so I come back doing games, but with a new technology, which is blockchain. Yeah.
So cool. What a beautiful career you've had, Siwan. And a few things I want to touch on today. You are very passionate about education and focusing on really training young developers on how to be game programmers and using now blockchain technology to encourage and kind of inspire the next generation of developers. Is that the idea?
Well, during my long career that spanned between Asia and the US and Europe, I find that actually the talent in Asia is probably the same as in Europe, but however, they have more formal training, they have more exposure, so that's why people have the perception that the West actually build games better than the East, right? Yeah. So that's why I always think that is everyone can be the same. You just have to have given them the chance to train and proper training and education. I think they will also reach the same standard. Yeah, that's what I've been trying to do. So yeah.
And so thinking about your work as CTO at Red Door Digital, what exactly is Red Door Digital? Can you share a little bit about that?
Red Door Digital is a block game publisher. So what we do is that we develop our own game as what we call the first party games. We also help third party developers to actually get into blockchain. We build all the tools to help them, so that we're trying to bring traditional game developers to move on to using blockchain as a way, and then we also provide some funding for them to kickstart their project. Yeah.
So cool. And so I know my audience is probably tired of me talking so much about blockchain, but I am such a big fan and believer of blockchain technology. And so are you building now on what some of my audience might know as Solana blockchain or the Ethereum blockchain? What are you focusing on mostly at Red Door Digital?
Okay, right now we are focusing on Solana, but our plan is to support multi-chain so that you can onboard as many players as possible. Yeah, so we believe that blockchain technology as a technology actually will help to evolve the game into the next generation. Yeah.
Something I have noticed personally as I'm in the crypto and blockchain space as well is a lot of my traditional gaming friends are a little bit hesitant right now to enter into blockchain gaming. Could you speak a little bit on that? What have you noticed? Maybe insight you could share, or do you feel we can find a common ground and all work together?
Oh, that's actually a very interesting question because I've been on that path before. Because before that, in 2017, because of all those ICOs, I was really skeptical about crypto, right? But I think about a year and a half ago, so when I was trapped in San Francisco, so I met a friend that we have a very long discussion, and I started to give crypto a chance again and really study deep into it, and then well, what I find that it is actually a good tool to build a game. So if you I know why people actually not feel really bad about crypto is that because the project that was coming up, they are just crypto project that is seen as a GameFi instead of really a game first kind of a project. So that's why it looks crappy. That's why people start to a lot of gamers start to think that GameFi is a scam, and all this game, because there's no good examples, like case studies, right? So we are trying to change that. Trying to attract real developer that are interested in doing real games, and how blockchain could help them actually. Yeah.
Like you said so wonderfully there, focusing on the game first, not kind of the GameFi side of it. That will come and that will be an added bonus, but focusing on the game itself and how you interact and play and have a good time using blockchain technology. And I couldn't agree more. And so thinking a little bit more about your vision of having more of, would you call it like a training center here in Taiwan?
Talent center.
Talent center. So beautiful. So can you speak a little bit about what you want to do with your talent center here in Taiwan with developers and young developers, or potentially people who want to change careers?
So we're working with one of the Taiwan University and some of the training school overseas to actually provide sort of a training specific training for the job for developing games, whether it's technology, art, or is blockchain and AI. So what we wanted to do is also to have a lot of international projects coming into Taiwan, so that they have the training and they also have the exposure. Because exposure is also part of training, right? So that they can actually upgrade their skill set. So I find that a lot of people are competent, but they just the training is not very specific to the job, right? So it's probably we will spend a shorter time training and then longer time on the job training.
That's great. So in my mind, that's more time focusing on projects. So project-based learning, is that kind of the concept, rather than theoretical programming language knowledge? I
think the training is to fill the gap between the fundamentals that's needed for the job and their education, their formal education, right? So that they can actually transit to their work, right? So on the job, actually what I find is that the talent, there's still this gap between the job and the education they receive for their skill set. So I'm just trying to fill the gap, and then after that, the rest will be on the job training.
Yeah, it's beautiful, and it makes me think about a lot of my friends here in Taiwan that are programmers and developers. They said a lot of their formal training, it was a little potentially out of date, and so when they would get on a job, their senior advisor would be like, all right, you got to actually learn this, and this now to get to where we are as a company. Mm-hmm. Is that something you've noticed as well?
Yeah, so sometimes it can be very daunting, and then they would, they would feel like, well, they do not know where to start. So at least the sort of training will actually guide them so that they are in the right direction, actually. Yeah.
And so thinking a little bit about the future of C1 as your work here in Taiwan with your companies and your training center, what do you picture yourself doing mostly in 2023 and beyond? What does the future look like for you?
Definitely onboarding like new games. Yeah. That is, well, that can be published internationally, that attract real gamers, and then do a major change, and then trying to actually build up this talent center to be of a considerable size, maybe 100, 200 manpower, strong. Yeah, so that's what I envision myself doing, like this year, next year.
Awesome. Thank you, C1.
There's also no age barrier, because I think there's a lot in Asia that people think that once they're past a certain age, I mean, it will be difficult. But I think, I mean, if you have the passion or you really wanted to have a change, I mean, you can always do it anytime. Yeah.
访谈上半段这边，我们谈到来宾他的事业路线基本上呢，算是辗转在科技和金融业之间。好，在科技领域，他在游戏界打滚了大概有10-20年之久，从在台湾从事15年的多人线上游戏，到欧洲游戏开发公司，像是法国的这间 Ubisoft 等等。但后来就觉得呢，说不定可以把他这样子的电脑技能，这样子对电脑的专业能力呢，好运用到其他产业，所以有稍微转换跑道一阵子，直到发现自己还是很想要继续待在游戏界，才又回归到当初最一开始的游戏开发领域。只是因应时代趋势的改变，现在改做以区块链科技为主的游戏。而且他还不只是开发游戏而已哦，来宾同时也结合他曾经在欧洲公司的这个工作经验呢，不断带领、不断启发底下员工，提供更多正式训练、更多实际操作的经验，让大家都有机会成为更好的软体开发工程师，做出跟西方国家同样水平的软体。那所以他们 Red Door Digital 这间游戏开发公司目前主要是在做什么嘞？好，这个喜欢游戏开发的听众朋友可能会有兴趣哦。他们除了是做第一方游戏的公司以外，同时也帮助其他游戏开发人员加入他们用 Solana 区块链技术开发赚钱游戏这个 Play to Earn 边玩边赚的行列。当然除了 Solana 以外，他们也计划多链开发以吸引更多游戏玩家，所以不用担心不是只有 Solana 齁。只是呢，现在有个问题，就像这样说的，有不少游戏玩家现在还是对这种边玩边赚的游戏模式有点抱持一个就是怀疑的态度。那这状况其实来宾他自己本身也是亲身经历过，也曾经很怀疑这种游戏金融这种 GameFi 的东西，直到后来跟朋友慢慢研究，有更深的了解之后呢，才决定进入这个领域。所以他建议，如果是还在犹豫、还在怀疑的听众朋友呢，就以平常心打游戏就好了，不用去想什么边玩边赚之类的噱头。那玩久了，最后 Coco 就会自己跑来找你这样子。如果你不是玩家，而是想要转换工作跑道，或者是有兴趣加入游戏开发行列的话，待会可以多了解一些来宾他们以国际专题项目为主的程式设计训练，好增加一些理论训练以外的实作经验。那上半段结束前，来宾也提到他未来除了计划做更多新游戏，而且推广到欧洲让更多人知道以外，也希望可以持续扩大刚刚讲的这个人才训练中心，让各个年龄层的人呢都有机会来受训写程式，而且整个过程会以中英双语进行哦，让你学程式的同时也用英文思考跟国际接轨。几个字来听一下。刚刚节目前面讲到这个首席技术官，大家可能都知道是 CTO， 好，但是它是哪几个字的缩写嘞？如果知道 CEO 和 CFO 的话，你应该可以大概猜到是 Chief 什么什么 Officer， 对，没错，你没想错。那这个 CTO 的这个 T 呢，它代表的是 Technology 技术，所以 CTO 就是 Chief Technology Officer。那 CEO 和 CFO 也顺便学一下吧，就是 Chief Executive Officer and Chief Financial Officer。 另外一个他讲到的这个 First Party， 有在玩游戏的应该都不陌生。好，不清楚的听众朋友，他们是第一方游戏。 那想当然有第一方就有第二方、第三方嘛，对不对？那这其中三方的关系是建立在游戏主机公司和游戏开发这两边。详细介绍的话，大家如果有兴趣，等一下节目过后可以上网去多了解一下。那这边我们时间关系，就赶快进入下半段吧。
I love it. So no age barrier. And then, you know, here on NG England, we're talking about a little bit of language, right? Would there be courses for this training center offered in English and Mandarin, or are you just going to focus on Mandarin for right now?
Oh, I think it would be a mix between Mandarin and English, because like there will be overseas a lecturer that will be doing online, and also if the COVID situation permit that, then we will be bringing them over to Taiwan for maybe a period of time. So there'll be also like training local lecturer or assistant lecturers or the TA to actually fill up the gap, the language gap a bit. But we will definitely want them to be sort of bilingual, because that's what they need to work with an international team. Yeah.
I love it. That's the heart of my show here on NG England, and finding that balance between using multiple languages.
Yeah.
So cool. And so, first off, how are you in Taiwan is what I think a lot of people want to know. And how have you been using your own language, navigating now your life around the world?
Well, I'm very comfortable in Taiwan. Taiwan always very comfortable to live in. Yeah. So too comfortable sometimes. But then, yeah. So, well, I think that the being bilingual actually helps a lot, because I'm like doing a lot of sort of cross-border kind of project between like Asia and the English speaking, and also the Chinese or Mandarin speaking. Yeah. So well, it helps me a lot to be bilingual, actually. Yeah.
It's so beautiful. So was your mother language Mandarin or English? What would you say is your most comfortable language now?
Oh, it's a very tough question. Yeah. For me, it comes naturally because you're in the environment. So I wouldn't say which one is my mother language, or yeah, I would say that which one do I use when I work? Like when I was thinking about work, it's all in English. Yeah. So sometimes when you do social, you can actually think in Chinese. Yeah. So it's just that differentiation. It's not really like which one is more comfortable with. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. So it's kind of thinking about that as when you're working, because a lot of your programming languages and your code writing is using English, and maybe your teams are international in that sense. But being here in Taiwan, being social, going out to events, you're using a lot of Mandarin in kind of your day-to-day life.
Well, even during work, right?
Yeah, it's beautiful, and it just kind of reminds all of our audience how using both languages can be so valuable. And so, thinking a little bit more about this training center, I know we were touching on it a little bit, as I just think it's so cool, and I want to kind of highlight what you're doing. What do you envision courses would look like?
I think the main course will be in English, so there will be like teaching assistants or assistant lecturer that would actually, as I say, fill the gap. So I think there will be a lot of there will be a very short fundamental training, so that you have a very idea of what the fundamental is, and then there will be a lot of hands-on. Yeah, because like you actually learn better when you're hands-on. Yeah. So I think it will be a lot of project-based, but definitely you need to go through some fundamental training. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very, very cool. And so if you don't mind, I would love if you could share about how did you end up in Taiwan? How did you kind of decide to find yourself here in Taiwan now with all your travels throughout the world?
Well, I mean, in short, I have to be frank, it's because of the COVID situation. But that is not the main one, right? Because I started my sort of a serious game career in Taiwan in 2006 or 7. Yeah, I had lived in Taiwan for like around 2 to 3 years, and then I keep coming back after that. Yeah, because there's still some work here. It's somewhere that I feel comfortable. Yeah. And actually one thing is that because like working here, I find that there is a great talent pool here. There's just some gap that could be just filled, and they could actually upgrade and compete with the international talent. So I think it would be a waste if I don't do anything about that. So that's one of the reasons why I'm here, actually. Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's such a mission statement now for kind of this next chapter of your life, I feel. And so focusing on filling that gap, as you say, is there any advice you can share maybe with young programmers or young developers or people who want to learn a different language to upgrade their career? Is there any advice you could share that's helped you now throughout your career?
I think the biggest thing is always practice, right? Yeah. So try to get yourself in an environment that you can actually use the skill that you have, like often, like really like a lot. Yeah. So I think no matter like how many hours you put just reading about the language, you're never gonna pick it up. Yeah. So I think that's what I find that in Taiwan, a lot of the young guys maybe or a lot of people are actually good at reading and writing, but when it comes to like using it or the listening skill set, it's still not there. Yeah. So when you talk about English, right, it's just not just only the language itself, but also some of the culture and the slang that you use and how you communicate using that language. So I actually learn a lot from watching TV series actually.
Hey.
That is actually one good way of doing things, but that is your listening skill, but you still have to talk a lot. So you have to find an environment that you can do that. Like through games, right? A lot of, right now there's a lot of games that have voice. So you can actually do that. And then you're sort of anonymous. So if what, I know Asians are usually shy. So yeah, since it's anonymous, mostly like it's a good chance to just try to say it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's so beautiful, like you said. Yeah, playing on these big online games, you can have a headset and you can actually be, speaking and listening.
Yeah.
And you don't have to feel so nervous because they can't actually see you. Maybe they see your username, but they don't know exactly who you are.
And then you will feel more motivated because there is something that you're working towards on, right? Using the language.
Yeah. Ideally, you're doing something you're having fun with too, right? It's less pressure. It's not for a grade. It's not for a homework assignment. It's because you want to accomplish this mission together as a team.
Yeah. So just like when I tried to pick up Japanese when I was young, I mean, it's because of games and comics, right?
Awesome, C1. Well, thank you so much for joining us here on NG Ingwen. And a question I love to end the show with is, if you could go back and talk to a younger C1, would there be any advice you give yourself about gaming, life, language, anything?
Well, I mean, if I would to go back, I think, just use the time wisely.
Yeah.
When you get older, I mean, your sensitivity to time actually like sort of heightened, right? Yeah. So like when you're young, you're thinking that you have a lot of time, but yeah, very soon it will become like middle age, and then you'll be wondering like, what have you done in the past 10 years, right? So I believe that be more adventurous when you're young. I think try to learn more stuff. I mean, it's possible to actually go for new experience, like even like going overseas. Like for now, there's a lot of like working holiday kind of opportunity. This is more than 10 years ago. So I think if there's a chance, just take it and learn from different culture. Yeah.
Beautiful. Well said. Well, C1, where can people find more about your life? Where can they find about Red Door Digital? And maybe where can they keep an eye on your training classes?
Well, they can actually find more information about Red Door and our website, so www.reddoor.digital. Yeah. So we'll update our news on that website. Yeah.
Ooh, got that digital domain. reddoor.digital. Very cool. .digital as the domain name. I love that.
It's convenient, right?
It's very convenient. Fits so nicely into the name there. Very tech savvy, I see. Well done. Awesome, C1. Well, thank you for joining us today on NG Ingwen, and I hope to be talking to you again very, very soon.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Talk to you guys.
OK， 好，我们知道来宾是新加坡人嘛，那新加坡是双语国家嘛，对不对？他们中文、英文都通。虽然说也是很难讲到底哪个是来宾的母语，但只要是跟工作有关的呢，来宾他就几乎都是用英文沟通、英文思考。那工作以外的范围，像如果是跟朋友在一起的话呢，中文就会是他主要的使用语言。所以来宾他在我们这边可能就是因为语言能力的优势，让他有更多机会可以跟不管是同样在亚洲的国家，还是远在地球另一边的欧美国家，透过这个国际语言英文呢，来进行跨国团队合作。那如果有兴趣想知道来宾他为什么会决定落脚台湾的话呢，这边我们马上有解说。如果想要直接听其他部分的话，可以就直接跳过这段没关系。好，他会住在台湾，其实也跟很多人一样，不外乎就是疫情的缘故。 但确切一点的话呢，应该是说疫情是让他留下来的一个助力啊，因为其实本来在16年前，在2006年、07年的时候，他当时就已经有在这边工作了。那时候在这边的时候就觉得，这边环境也不错，颇舒适的，常就是走了之后就再回来，走了又再回来，对台湾的印象就是很好，让人流连忘返这样子。而且也听说我们当地其实有不少的优秀人才，再加上疫情关系，所以最后呢就决定留在这边，好好提拔台湾的科技人才。这边来宾他建议，不管是想要精进语言能力还是写程式技能的听众朋友，真的在训练过程中呢都要涵盖一些实作演练。写程式就要实际做专题，从做中学，加强专业能力。学外语的话呢，就要多让自己在那个语言环境里面多听多用。或如果刚好是 gamer， 刚好常就有在打游戏的话，也可以借由游戏中的对话啦，或是剧情来增加我们的词汇量，增加听力练习。当然书本上的一些基本知识也是很重要，但不用一直钻研在那部分，因为你知道就是实际演练会是比较有用的过程嘛。像他之前就遇过几个是很会读很会写英文的人但是当他们真的要实际去跟人家沟通的时候，哇，这个听说能力很快就可以发现跟他们的读写还是有段距离。OK， 那最后来宾建议大家要好好运用时间，趁年轻的时候呢多做一些，多学一些，不要到老了回头看自己过去的日子都在干嘛的时候，就突然发现怎么好像一事无成，什么精彩的都没经历到这样子。好，那节目最后这里呢有一个字，不晓得刚才大家在节目中有没有抓到， hands on hands on。 好，这说法可以用来表达实作实际操作，好像刚刚他们说的这个很重要的实作经验，或者是这个亲身经验，就可以说是 hands-on experience。 好，甚至是我们常讲的这个公亲，凡事亲力亲为，也可以用 hands-on 来表示，只是这时候就会比较是用来用形容人啊。假如说你说某人或是某个主管呢是一个 hands-on manager，就表示说人家是一位事必躬亲的经理，会跟底下员工一起参与大小事，比较有亲和力。那相反的，有 hands on 就有 hands off 对不对？ on and off。 若是一个 hands off 的经理的话，常常就会是比较有距离感，然后采取一种比较不干涉不插手的管理方式。或是呢也可以就直接把 hands off 当成动词片语来用，表达不要碰的概念。像如果有人要拿你爱吃的点心，这时候就可以给他来一句 hands off， 就可以表达那是我的，不要碰，这样子的概念。好，那希望大家一样也都有从今天的内容呢学到一些东西。待会如果有兴趣的话呢，可以上他们的这个 Red Door Digital 去多了解他们的相关资讯哦。
All right. Well, that is our NG Ingwen show for today. We hope everyone enjoyed listening to that. You can connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and now Spotify. You can search NG Ingwen, or you can search on IG NG English ICRT. And don't forget to tune in every Wednesday morning from 6:30 to 7 and Wednesday night from 9 to 9:30. We'll catch you on the next episode. Bye-bye.
好啦，今天的节目就到这边告一段落啦，感谢各位的收听，别忘了订阅我们的 Spotify 还有 YouTube 频道哦。那喜欢我们节目的话，也要记得到 Instagram 到 IG 上追踪我们哦。如果各位有什么其他问题是想要问来宾的，也请欢迎在底下留言告诉我们，我们一定会想办法帮你问到手。好啦，那就下周在空中相会咯，拜拜。